So let's start today's session. I hope my videos are very visual, right? And my screen is also very clear. Okay. So we'll start the session. So I welcome all of you in today's briefing for the date, which is the 1st of April, and we are on the first day of the second quarter of 2026, Wednesday. We have lots of data. So without wasting time, we'll start the session. Just before we start the session, let me give you my introduction that my name is Anurag and I'm the Senior Client Success and Learning Manager at BMN Capital. And we are conducting this webinar to help the traders in taking the right trading decisions without any noise from the market. So without wasting time, let's start today's briefing session. So on my chart, you can see that I have the Bitcoin. So we start from the crypto and then in the last, we're going to discuss the gold. So stay tuned because we are going to discuss a lot of things which are very important. So this is the consolidation on the BTC USD, which we've been discussing yesterday. And I've told you that I've used the deviation channel over here and I need a clear break of this channel toward the downside to have my biasness toward the sell side. But it doesn't happen. Instead, market have given me the opposite scenario and prices moved up. See the breakout over here. Just focus on the screen. The breakout has been done. Then there is a short impulsive move, lot of selling has also came, right? Then the retest have been done and now the prices are moving upwards. So what I need to do over here, I just need to mark this area, right? Because this area is very important. See, the price have taken rejection and I also mark this area this high, right? So yes, I can take the buy call and keeping my stop losses below this purple arrows which I've drawn, right? So to be very exact, you can place your stop losses below the 68, 300 or 350 levels, right? You can plan your entry from the current price levels, which are the 6 at 779, right? And almost 1 is to 2 or 1 is to 3 risk to reward ratio you can get because the next area would be tested at this swing points, right? Which is 69 and then the 69,890, right? Also have a look on this daily time frame, right? See this gray area. So I'm extending this gray area right till here. So this will be a potential target area. This are the consolidation which I'm talking about. This is the deviation channel from where the prices have taken a U-turn and right now they are showing strength toward the upside on the H1 time frame. So this would be my target area, right? So if I'm very conservative and I instead of participating, I want to anticipate into the market move, then I'll think of taking the buy call from the current price levels, or otherwise, if I want to participate and I'm a conservative trader, wait for the prices to go above the high of this, then you can plan your entry, but your uh, risk to reward will be lesser and the risk exposure you have to manage because you have a big SL, so you need to keep small lot size, right? Over here you can take a big lot because the uh, SL points are very less as compared to the entry from here. So this is from the Bitcoin. Now let's move on to the next segment of the report, that is the indices. So for indices, we're gonna discuss two things, right? First is the UK100 and then we are going to discuss the US 30. So this is the UK100. You can see that there is a very good sharp fall into the prices and see this corrections. And yesterday when we were discussing, I've told you that we want a very good close of this candle, and this candle is showing a very good. It is a momentum candle which we have seen, which is showing strength. And today we have a gap up opening, which already the gap has been tested, and right now they are showing strength toward the upside. The next important crucial level will come at 10,450, right? So almost 100 points of uh, movement we are expecting into the UK100 today or maybe tomorrow. So once this is done, then there will be a test of this trend line, right? We want a test, and if we are getting a rebounds right from here, then we think of taking the buy call. But high probability, if this kind of price symmetry happens, right, that means price after testing this, they might face a rejection toward the downside, retest this trend line, descending trend line. Then prices will move sideways by making small swing highs, right? Swing highs and swing lows. So once that consolidation has been broken, we will have a new direction into the UK100 prices. So that is my analysis for the UK100. And soon, within this month, we are going to make very good points in the UK100. Now come to the US30. So see over here, we have marked this important gray area, which is acting as a resistance. And see what happens yesterday. Lot of consolidations. If I connect the swing highs and swing lows, it's a broadening wedge pattern, and this broadening wedge pattern has been broken with a very strong candle, right? And this happens when we have those important datas which we have discussed yesterday, right, in the economic calendar. Today also we are going to see the same thing. The important thing is that we need to see the volume activity at these two candles, right? The volume activity is quite high. So, and this is the 17th, 16th and 17th candle, and the probability is quite high that today also, when we have the 16th and 17th candle in the BMN MT5 terminal, we are going to see again such kind of very aggressive moves, right? Now, if we see the symmetry, see this trend line, all of a sudden there is a pump into the prices toward the upside. So the chances of a corrections toward the downside is quite high. Second thing which is supporting this biasness is that we have lot of swing points available which will act as a resistance. And if we go into the past and see this, so this is a gray area, this is a order block which have been tested, right? Still there. So let me revise it, right? Let me extend it to the current day. Okay. I think now it has been marked, right? So this would be the area from where we need to take the decisions, right? And just before that, prices have taken a U-turn, right? So just without testing the resistance, right? Prices have given a short side of momentum, right? Which is creating confusion into the traders. Lot of people, right? Lot of people, especially those who are not watching this webinar, they might get trapped into the sell side positions, right? When the sellers enter the market, lot of liquidity is there, right? Lot of stop losses are resting over there, which is a liquidity, and market is going to go up and again hunt those stop losses. So wait for that. Don't get trapped into this, right? Wait for the prices to reach this gray area. From there, if we find a reversal, then the pump and dump market structure is being confirmed, and we can take a short call towards the downside for the target of the test of this trend line, right? Now, let's move on to the currency pair. So for the currency pair, we are going to discuss all the three USD pairs, and then we are going to discuss the Euro USD and GBP USD. So first, let's discuss the USD JPY. So see the USD JPY, this is the apex of the candle which we've been talking, right? And because lot of news are coming that the JPY is getting stronger, right? In the BMC premium, we have shared the news insights also, which will tell you the fundamental factors which are supporting this, that, and you'll know the reasons that why the JPY is right now getting stronger, right? Second thing, just to give you the brief or the crux that what is the reason. The second reason is that the JPY is showing hawkish tone, that they means they are going to increase the interest rates, and that is the reason we have seen a sharp break, right? Then a small candle, chances of quite a small reversal up to this level. Then we have a new swing low formed, right? Once this has been confirmed, right, then we take the entry toward the downside, and 156.86 would be my target area. Okay. So this is onto the daily time frame. Right now, let's see that what kind of trading opportunity we've been identifying today. So as you can see that we have the railway track formations. That means uh, all of sudden we have candles which are red, green, right? which is an indication of a consolidation, no clear directions. So right now there is no clear direction, but yes, because we have a bullish engulfing formations, right? Right now, chance to the sellers have been given. Now we have to wait for the sellers. That means we have to wait for the bears to push the prices below the low of this candle. If they successfully breach this low by the close, then we might think of taking the sell call. Otherwise, prices might take this low, but instead of giving the close, there is only one shadow or wick is there, and then they take a U-turn. That is the time we need to take the buy call. Okay, and you can see this low and this low, and if you see the RSI also, so we have one low over here and a higher low over here, which is a classic bearish divergence being forming, right? That means yes, buyers are entering into the market, but by looking at the current 1 hour trend, we easily we can identify that the sellers are right now very powerful, right? And this divergence is not going to work right now, right? We need a very good confirmations from the RSI that we have this low and we have this mid swing point. So we want RSI to move above this swing point, right? And we need a very strong green candle, right? From that green candle we can plan our buys, right? If this doesn't happen, then the chances of a new lower low formation is there, and wait for that, right? Then after that we'll have that whichever divergence we are having, we are going to take that divergence toward the buy side, right? So I've given you that this low is very important. Now move on to the USD CAD. So yesterday we've been discussing, I've given the buy call, I booked all the TPs in the USD CAD in this candle, right? And this is the climax candle. Why this climax candle? See over here, right? We have a very high volume, then we have a very small candle which failed to go above the high of this candle. But if you see, the volume activity is quite high. That means lot of people are placing their buy orders and somebody is distributing or supplying them, right? And that is the reason we have a small candle but a very high volume activity we can see over here, right? Which is an indication that the profit booking and the chances of reversal is there. Second, if you see this candle, it is kind of a doji formation at the top, right? And prices have taken the U-turn, give me the close below the low, and now the symmetry has been changed. Same is the case with USD JPY also. We have seen that that means dollar is getting weaker against the JPY also and against the CAD also, right? So USD has been falling, and see the current price, right? Same kind of pattern, right? In the USD JPY we have red, green, red. Here also we have red, green, red, and see this candle have already breached this low. Now just after 7 minutes, if this candle closes below the low of this candle, without a second thought, I'll take a sell call, keeping my stop losses above the high of the Asian SI, right? And I can take the sell call. I can take the 1:1 or 1:2 risk to reward ratio, or this area would be tested soon, right? Which is 1.3850. Now come to the USD CHF, and CHF is getting very, very stronger because we have the PMI data from the CHF which have come at 53. Above 50 means the economy is expanding, which is a very good sign. So that is the reason CHF demand is rising, and as a result, high probability that when we see the USD CHF chart, it is also falling. Now let's see, this is into the black background and you can see a very good fall into the prices. Now the prices have reached this red trend line which I've drawn over here, right? You can see, and see the size of the candle, and the volume is also decreasing. My RSI is also in the oversold area, so the chances of a minute reversal is there, right? So right now there is no clear direction, and this is H4, right? Whatever we are discussing into the H4. So you can see a very good order flow toward the downside, right? So we have a very good order flow towards the sell side. Wait for the correction. Once the correction is done, then you can plan your sell entries, right? And to have the confirmation of those sales, we might connect this chart with the macroeconomic data which are still pending to be released. Now come to the next segment of the report, that is the GBP Euro USD, right? So prices have given the hidden divergence over here, right? Instead of prices falling, these two strong bulls are so strong that they have safeguarded their stop losses and the momentum has been slowed, and all of a sudden we have a sudden spike into the prices. This is a very important gray area which is acting as a support, and yesterday it is acting as a resistance which have been broken, right? With a very strong impulsive move towards the upside, right? And still they are showing strength to go up. So let me draw the trend line over here, right? So this would be the trend line, right? And let me see this, right? Prices have gone out from the trend line, out of the symmetry. Then again, they are facing rejections, right? So the chances of a sideways movement into the Euro USD is quite high. Second thing which you'll see is that we have lot of swing points and a very massive reversal we have seen from this level. So once the prices reaches this level, the chances of reversal are quite high, right? Because we have seen a very strong upside move. If I draw a trend line by angle, so it is almost near the 90-degree or 86-degree of sharp rise into the price of the EURUSD, right? So wait for the prices to consolidate. Once you'll find a inside bar formation, which is a sideways movement. When it is done, then you'll have a very good breakout. Now let's see the GBPUSD, right? One more thing which I want to discuss, see the RSI, right? Lot of swing highs, then again prices are trading above all these swings high, but my RSI have failed to go above the high, which is an indication that the strength is getting weaker, and a chances of a minute small red candles to the downside is quite high. But we are not going to trade those because we need to go with the trend right now. So let the red candle happens, you will have a sideways movement, then we'll have a breakout. And for that, for the update regarding the breakout of this, stay tuned to our social media handles, especially the BMC Premium and BMC Insight. Over there, we'll share you the updates before the breakout happens, right? You'll get the trades and the analysis of the chart over there. Now come to the GBPUSD. Same is the case with GBPUSD, but over here, this is my gray area, right? And let me make it H4. See this trend line. Once it is broken, retested, prices fell down. Then again, right now they are facing rejection from the same trend line, right? And this is a very strong gray area which I've drawn on a H1 time frame, and this is the order block, right? The gray area represents the important order blocks. So prices have breached this with a very strong candle. The current candle is quite small, which shows, and almost 2 hours are still remaining, right? So let's have a look on the H1. So see, green, red, green, just the opposite of the USD pairs, right? And if this candles gives us a close above this, then we might think of taking the buy call toward the upside for this area, right? This blue line, which is the Fibonacci extension 61.8. Keeping our stop losses below this gray area would be very good. Now come to our most favorite part, which is the commodity. So first we are going to discuss the natural gas, then the oil, then silver, and in the last gold. So let's have a look on the natural gas. Prices went down, taken the retest, done the retest of this gray area. Again, they have tried to go down, but see this exhaustion, right? Every candle failed to give me the close, which is an indication that buyers are active and they are been accumulating this. And prices haven't given the close below the lower band of the Bollinger Band, right? And if you see the upper Bollinger Band is getting flat, which is an indication that there might be a sideways movement and then there will be a sharp fall into the prices. Same like what we have discussed yesterday regarding the confirmation to take the trade into the natural gas. This low will play a very important role, which is at 2.827, right? If prices goes below the low of this candle, I will take the sell call, keeping my stop losses above this, right? This is on a daily time frame. Now let's have a look on the natural US oil, right? So see this area, right? We've been expecting a short recovery towards the upside, right? Prices have done that, but see my Bollinger Band is squeezing, and right now it has been expanding, right? So right now again the prices are pushing upwards, right? And they try to came back into the zone of the Bollinger Band, right? So this is a trap. We are not going to take this trades, right? This is on a H4 time frame because the momentum have taken a U-turn, and right, you can see the rounding top formations, right? So there are two scenarios whenever rounding top is done, right? Either the prices will continue to go downwards, or instead of going downwards, they'll make a very good trap candle, which is very strong, right? On a very low volume. Now see over here, very low volume as compared to this consolidations, right? See this green, such a big green candles, and consecutively the volumes are rising, right? Which is showing lot of market activities happening. And at this candle, as compared to this volume is not that impressive, right? Now we need to see, let this happen, right? Once again the prices are getting the U-turn because the peace talks are going on, and there is high probability we have Trump speech that within 2 or 3 weeks Iran issue will be sorted, and we don't know how the Trump is going to sort all these issues, right? Through power or through diplomatic routes. So we need to watch this because that will give shape to the oil prices, right? But yes, stop loss hunt is there, and if there is continuation, then we think of taking the sell call. Otherwise, wait for the stop loss hunt. Once the hunt is done, then we'll have a clear direction either toward the downside or towards the buy side, and it totally depend on the geopolitical events. Now let's have a more microscopic look on the H1C. Again, a very good order flow with a very strong candle. Now the prices are trying to go upwards. These two green candles are not that strong as compared to the bear candles. So the chances of a reversal is quite high. Prices might go up to the middle band of the Bollinger Band, which is resting at 97.39, right? So wait for the prices to reach this level. From here, if you find rejections toward the downside, that will be the time we can think of taking the sell call, right? But I need to watch, or you as a trader need to watch the prices to reach this area, and from this area you need to watch the price behavior, how the price is behaving, right? Then take the trading decisions. Now come to the silver, right? So here we have given a projection, we have shared this into the BMC premium also. See this inverse head and shoulder pattern, right? The shoulder have been extended, and whenever this kind of extension happens in the market structure, that structure or that pattern is not going to sustain for a very long period of time. Now prices went up, and right now they are moving in a sideways range, right? I have marked the area that is the 75.0 or 7500 psychological mark, which is acting as a strong resistance area. But the point which is very important, which we need to uh, keep in mind, is that prices continuously try to sustain its close price above this 75 level, which is an indication that buyers are quite aggressive over here. So let's this consolidations be done, right? Either you'll have a NR3, NR4 or NR7, which is the narrow range formation, which is a sideways channel, right? Because we are looking this into the H4 time frame. If we'll go into the H1, we'll see a sideways movement, and after sideways movement, what happens? A very good breakout is going to happen. Okay. So although I'm going to revise this and I'm going to remove this from here, right? Because one prediction has been done. Now the current market symmetry will give us the direction whether the prices will go up or down. And just above this area, we have a fair value gap which is sitting over here, right? Let me mark this area, which is resting at 78.00 level. Now let's have a smaller look. See this consolidation, right? Now we have a very strong candle. This is a bullish harami pattern. We have a red candle, very strong, and one candle within the range of this candle, right? And this might continue. So we'll have a NR3 or NR4 or NR7. That means the sideways movement is going to sustain. That means they are going to make either three candles, four candles, or seven candles, and after that, we'll have the breakout. To have a confirmation of the breakout, we need a close, right? So we need a close either from the high or from the low. If any candles give us the close below the low, then selling will trigger. If high, then the buying will happen, right? But focus over this area, right? Prices try to go up, then taken the U-turn, right? They have made the rounding top. Those who trade in 5 minutes and 15 minutes, for them it is a very big rounding top have been formed, right? Then again, prices have shown strength towards the upside, and right now they are trading in a sideways range. So if I connect or draw a line over here, a symmetrical triangle has been forming. That means they are collecting the traders, right? So in whichever direction the stop losses are more in comparison to dollars, right? So in whichever direction the dollars are more, right, resting as stop losses, in that direction the market will go, right? And we'll have second confirmation from the macroeconomic data releases also, that what we expect into the prices. Okay. So right now it's not a good trading setup right now, no clear direction. So it's better you should watch maybe into the US session after the NR4, NR7 thing happens, then you'll have a clear direction. So wait till US session. In the US session, you'll get a very good trade along with our analysis into the social media handles. Now move on to the next, that is the gold. Okay. Okay. So this is the gold chart, right? And this is a small in the H1 time frame. We have marked this, right? Which have worked very good. I've been not expecting this, right? Now focus on this, that on the 19th of April, we have a very important festival in a country which is one of the biggest buyer of gold, which is India. And on 19th of April, we have the Akshay Tritiya, right? Akshay Tritiya is a very auspicious event when Indian people, especially the Hindus, used to buy gold and silver, right? We don't need any confirmation to buy anything, right? So it's a very, very holy day, right? And this is the impulsive move which we are showing. It is because of this festive buying which is happening in India. And after that, all of a sudden, you'll see a fall into the prices, right? That is my prediction. And for the last 10 years I've been watching gold, and same kind of movement they'll do this, right? Second, buying happens in India at the time of Diwali, right? And that is the start of the marriage season, right? So just before the marriage season, from the August, right, and September, prices rally, and just before the Diwali month, right, there is a fall into the prices to impact the psyche of the masses, that previously gold is trading at a very high prices, and right now they have taken a correction. That means they can buy gold at a cheaper price, right? So this is going to be there. So have an eye on this. Now let's focus on this, that what exactly happening over here. So prices went up. All my moving averages, which I marked over the chart, are pointing upwards, and there is a very handsome gap between all, right, which is an indication of a strong momentum toward the upside. But see this area. Whenever moving averages are pointing upwards and prices, instead of taking the correction from the moving average, they take a U-turn and there is a gap clearation. So it is a very important area, right? Prices tend to come down to test this area. So chances of a sideways movement is quite high, but then all of a sudden, because we have a strong impulsive move toward the upside, chances of breakout towards the upside is quite high, right? Now, second thing, just have a look on the RSI over here. See this high point and this lower high formations. Over here, we have the higher high formations, which is a formation of a classic bearish divergence. And I have told you that for the confirmation, we need RSI to go below this swing point, right? Which is not happening right now. Candles are not showing very good strength. So indication towards the upside is quite high. There might be an impulsive move towards the upside into the charts, right? Just give me a minute. Let me open all the things. Okay. Now let's see this into the H4 time frame. See these two lines which I've drawn at 4738, which I've marked over here. We have a fair value gap along with a order block which is sitting over here. So this is going to be tested, and see into the H4 time frame. This is my moving average, right, which I've drawn over here, right, with the green line, which is of 156. So prices will not going to take a U-turn till the time they won't test this level, right? And this is resting at 4779. So still there is room available for prices to go up and test this area. Then we have the fair value gap and order block, which is a perfect setup for a reversal into the prices, right? So till the time this area is not been tested, which is 4784, I am bullish. From here I will change my biasness, but after watching the price behavior at this point of time. So that's all from my side related to the technical setups and the market structures. Right now, let's move on to the next segment of the report, that is the economic calendar for today. Okay. So for this, I'm going to use the trading economics. Just give me a minute. Okay. So for this, I'm going to use the trading economics over here. So this is the site which I've used the most to watch the calendars. Right now, you have access to my screen, right? Okay. And this is the April 1st. So in the early morning, we have the Fed bar speech, which already happens. Then we have the API crude oil stock exchange. Previously, it was 2.3 million, and right now it is 10.26. So we have seen a spike into the inventory, and that is the reason we are seeing weakness into the oil price, because we have lot of inventories to supply. Then moving, so I'm not going to discuss all this data, but yes, building permits and all these data are important to understand, but market have already impacted. Building permits if improving, any data which is related to real estate if improving, it shows a very good sign related to that economy, and which will bring or lot of strength into that specific currency pairs. Right now we need to have a focus on the data which are still pending to be released, right? So at 3 p.m. we have the Bank of England FPC meeting. Then we have the ECB Cipollin speech. So both these speeches are going to impact, because right now market is more driven by the macroeconomic factors, right? So we need to see or watch this speeches and try to identify that what kind of tone they are delivering. Hawkish, that means they are going to increase the interest rate. Dovish, they are going to cut the interest rate. Or neutral, that means they are not going to do anything, right? But because of the oil prices and this war, right, chances of a hawkish tone is there. And if there is hawkish tone, GBP and euro both are going to be supported by it. And as a result, we already seen a very good impulsive move. It might continue that trend toward the upside, right? Now, moving on to the next data. So, although this data is not that important, but yes, MBA 30-year mortgage rates are quite important, because it directly impact the spending behavior of the US citizens. So we have to keep an keen eye. But the important data is the ADP employment change. The labor market data is the most important. Then we have the retail sales data, right? So when NFP is bad, labor market is performing very bad, that means people don't have job, and retail sales is improving, then it means there is an anomaly. So we want this to be either at the same figure or lesser, right? Because people don't have that much disposable income. Once this has been done, then we need to have a keen eye on the Fed speeches, right? So we have the Musalim speech, then we have the Fed bar speech. So we need to see this. Then my most favorite data, which is the New York Fed bill purchase 1 to 4 months, right? In the previous sessions, just 2 days before we've been discussed, it is around 6 billion, and now they have increased to 8.07 billion, right? So they are doing to rebalance their balance sheet, right? just to balance their balance sheet. So they are buying back their short-term T-bills to reduce the debt from the balance sheet. So they are doing the debt restructuring, which is supporting the dollar, right? And if this is there is an improvement, it is a bad sign for precious metals, gold and silver. Then we have the S&P Global Manufacturing PMI for Canada. Above 50 is good, right? Same for the US. Above 50 means expansions, right? And previous also they have given the figure of 52.4, and right now the consensus is for 52.5. Above 50 is good. In the last, we have the EIA crude oil stock exchange, right? So we need to see this. One EIA data have already surprised us, right? From 2 to 10 millions. Now we have to see this. So this is going to shape the oil prices, and this data may bring a very sharp fall into the prices if inventory increases towards the positive side. This stock changes toward the positive side. And in the last, you'll find very good momentum in indices and gold when this data is going to release, which is the 17-week bill auctions. So we need to see if they are increasing the interest rate, they are offering a very good interest rates. Instead of investing in a non-yielding assets, people will tend to invest in an asset which will give them the yield, and which is the fixed income assets, the treasury bills. Same for the Canada also. So we need to see whether the interest rates are increasing or decreasing. Second thing, we need to see that how much money they have accumulated through this auction, right? So these are the data which we have to keep a keen eye into it, right? I hope we have covered all the important market segments along with the important market symmetry which have been formed or which are under development. Rest of the things and the developments will be provided to you on the BMC social media handles. You can follow the Telegram channel of ours or the WhatsApp community we have over there. Will provide you the detailed analysis along with the logic and rationale, so that why my biasness is toward the buy side, what are the reasons which are supporting my biasness, and what can change my biasness, right? In terms of technical confirmations also and fundamental confirmations also. So that's all for my side. I thank you all of you for watching this session. This is a recorded session. You'll get the link of this session. Also, if you want to revisit this session, you can go to my YouTube channel with the name of My Star Mentor. You'll find the recording along with very detailed notes in the description. And if you have any question, you can ask me into the comment section. So that's all for my side. I wish you a very, very happy trading day ahead. Thank you, all of you.